Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mommy and this is Uni Sports. If you're visiting here for the first time, I talk about books, life experiences, share from the word, and also take you through my sewing journey, moment of sewing, how I carry out my sewing project, and if any of that sounds like something you're interested in, you want to click on the subscribe button, hit on the notification bell, and give this particular one a thumbs up and a comment. You're welcome. So what am I doing today? I'm talking about a book titled Moment of Weakness by Karen Kingsbury. If you know Karen Kingsbury, you know that she helps her readers see into the mind of God through the scripture, right? That is to say, most of our books are based on some particular verses in the Bible, and this particular one is based on Jeremiah 29:11, which says, I know the plans that I have for you, plan for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And I feel like that is like a book for the moment, because reading through the book, you know, I was really blessed and I learned a lot. You know, when you're reading a book and you're like, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. You know, it's just like that. Like, it helps. These are mistakes that, you know, some youth would have done, but you know, she helps them see into the future. Like, okay, if you do this, this is the result you get. And I feel like that is beautiful. So what is Moment of Weakness all about? Moment of Weakness is the story of two young people who try to move ahead of God, and that cost them a lot. That cost them a lot. It's not really like they didn't know what they want, right? They know what they want, but somehow they tried to move ahead of God, and you know, that went really bad for them. The two main characters, Jade Kona and Tana Eastman, like, they grew up together in the same community, but for one particular reason, Jade and her family, the female, had to move to another country, and but Tana made it known to her and Claire from when they were very young that I'm going to marry you one day. And I feel like that is a very beautiful thing. He knew what he wanted from a very young age, and he kept to his word. He kept himself, like, all through high school, all through college, being a very handsome and intelligent man or young man. He did not um he didn't venture into some things that some college guys would have, you know, ventured into. And Jade Kona, where she was, also kept to herself. And I feel like, you know, Jade's sense of responsibility is quite applaudable, because her mom was not in the picture all through. Like, her mom left the dad when she was young, which was the reason why they had to leave the previous place they were staying. And so she was like, she grew up with little or no parental guidance. The father turned a drunk, and you know, he screamed at her every now and then, said all sorts of things about her, but she just, you know, kept herself. She knew what she wanted. She started volunteering, you know, where she was getting paid. She was working as a nurse in the hospital, in the children department of the community where she was. And Jade was studying political science. So somehow Tana was posted to Portland for his internship, and that happened to be the city where Jade was, and that was how they met together. They bonded back, and when I say bonded, it wasn't like this kind of carnal type of bond. Like, they felt something deep for each other. You know, this type of feeling you feel for um those your high school boyfriends. Like, I know that boyfriend is not really like a godly concept, like a godly term. And when I say boyfriend, of course we do have, boyfriend can also mean male friends, but you know the type of boyfriend I'm talking about, right? The type of boyfriends you have in high school. So that kind of feeling you feel for them, no responsibility, nothing, you know, both of you just love each other. You know that you love talking this thing with each other for long, and that's what they felt for each other. But beyond that, they knew that they wanted to be together forever, like for a long time. And so they bonded back. Tana helped Jade to come to the Lord, and one of the first scriptures that Jade knew is Jeremiah 29:11, which says, I know the plans that I have for you, plan for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And to Jade, she was like, what could be God's plan for me in all of this? I don't even know. I've not seen my mom since we relocated to this place. She left without saying goodbye. And my father doesn't like me. Nobody likes me. I'm just on my own. That kind of feeling. But she kept, reciting that particular Bible verse. And, how the scripture can just give you hope, how it can give you peace and reassurance that things will get better. That was the case for Jade. Like, she has not really seen anything tangible, even though she's in good health, and she has a shelter and all those things, but she just feel like life is beyond all of that, and she wanted to see God really move in her life. And so on the last day of Tana's internship in her community, they had to say goodbye. And in the bed of saying goodbye, they started hugging, and from hug to pecking and necking. And God kept warning both of them to stop, but they could not. They kept saying that, God, this is our last day together this summer and all of that. And they could not just stop, and that was their moment of weakness. They both fell. And of course, Tana left the following day. After Tana left, Jade found out that she was pregnant. She went to meet, please ignore the background noise. She went to meet the mother of Tana, that she was pregnant. And because the mother of Tana does not like Jade or her parents, she said all sort of lies to Jade, and Jade hated Tana, and she had to find an alternative to caring and giving the child security. So there's this particular young man that had been asking her out before Tana appeared in her community, Jim Rudolph. So she had to contact that one and go married to him 3 weeks after Tana left her community. And because of that one step, I feel like this is something that maybe every young person would want to do. Anybody out there would want to do. After making a major mistake, they just want to do something to cover up. They just want to find a way to come out of that mistake, and that might not be the best of things to do. And I feel like that was what happened with Jade. She got married to Jim Rudolph feeling like that would give the child security and all of that, but that was not what happened. Unknowing to her that Jim Rudolph already had an accident while he was growing up, and that he could not have child again, like he would not have child in his life. So when she came pregnant, like about 3 weeks pregnant with Tana's child, Jim Rudolph accepted her, and he knew that she was pregnant, and that child was not going to be his. But Jade did not know, and that was like a major mistake that she made. At the end of the day, Jim eventually, the marriage didn't work. Jim had to divorce her, and he wanted to take custody of the child. He knew that the child was not his, but he just wanted to take the child to prove a point. And at that point, Jade realized that she could have even survived without say another man in her life. She could have found a way to finish her college, just try to go through school while working, and then be earning. No matter how little, the child would be okay. She and child would be okay. And they had to fight to take the child back, and eventually, thank God, like I said, Tana went to college studying political science. However, he changed course to religious freedom, and now working as a lawyer. And on that basis, Jim Rudolph is not a believer. And so meanwhile, Jade Connor is a believer, and she was very open about it, and that caused conflict in their marriage. And so Jim Rudolph sued her that for religious intolerance, that she's teaching the child hatred, and that she's not like a good enough parent to train up their child and all of that. And so the courts gave Jim Rudolph custody of the child, and That was like bad. Meanwhile, Tana Eastman went to study religious freedom, don't forget. So she had to look for a lawyer to stand for her, and then Tana popped up, defended her, and then they both reconciled. They found out that the child Tiwa is his son, and so he helped her fight to get their child back. And I felt like in all of this, that particular Bible verse, and Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you, kept coming to mind. But she was just impatient, and this is something that we can all do, that we are all guilty of. We do not really wait to consult God before making some decisions in our life most times, and that cost us a lot. And it was the same with Jade Kuna. If she had waited, if she had maybe prayed, of course she's pregnant, and that would cause her a lot of shame. Her parents will be disappointed in her place of work. They will look at her with contempt and all of that. But above all, in all of this, it is God's opinion that matters. It is God's plan. What does God think? What does he want me to do in this? And what is he leading me to do? That is what is very important in all of. So will you be ashamed? Yes, you will be. Will you be judged? Yes, you will be. Will you be hated? Yes, but what is more important is God's plan. You made a mistake, but even in your mistake, remember that the book of Romans 28 says, um, all things work together for the good of those that love God and according to his purpose and plan. In the novel, you know that Jade has been called to defend the children, um, to defend religious freedom, and she had been called, but she just wanted to fix things by herself. She just wanted to. So the key lesson from this is that God does have a plan for every one of us, and until we surrender to accept that plan, we will continue to struggle and make a lot of mistakes. Make one mistake, come out of it, jump into another one, come out of it. To avoid all of that, remember and master that Jeremiah 29:11 says, God have a plan for my life, and they are plans for good and not for evil, to give me a future and a hope, a beautiful future, and an encouragement that that future is somewhere there and to surely come to pass. Jade suffered a lot, heartaches, also Tana suffered because of a single moment of weakness, because of a single, just always, it's so sad how we see, it's so sad what is going on in our society today. But I hope that you were able to learn one or two from this review. Moment of Weakness by Karen Kingsbury is a book you want to read. Plenty lessons to be learned from. You just see yourself cringe, you see yourself, shake your head, you find yourself very sad and bitter for the bad decisions that the book character is making. So you want to pick up Moment of Weakness by Karen Kingsbury. Don't forget the major lesson and highlight of the book is Jeremiah 29:11, which says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And that is true of every person is out there. If you can wait, if you can really seek him, his word says, if you seek me, you will find me. When you seek me with all your heart, I will be found by you and bring you back from your captivity. That is what the word says. So he does have a plan for you, and it is to give you a future and a hope. And the only way you can get these plans, the only way you can work hand in hand with God to make this future come to pass, is by seeking him and by surrendering to his will. Even after making a major mistake, just surrender to him and not try to fix things yourself. That would only complicate matters more. So surrender to him, accept that he has a will and a plan for you, and continue to seek his face for that. You need to be patient. Like, this is a word for myself and for you. We need to be patient. It's not going to be as quick as you want. It might not be as quick as you want it, but we do need to be patient because he does have a plan, and that plan, his plan is always the best for us. So we need to wait for the plan to play out. But while you're waiting, just continue serving God, continue working. His plan will surely come to pass. Thank you for watching till this part. My name is Mommy and this is Unisport. Again, I talk about books, share life experiences, share from the word, and also take you through my sewing journey. Yeah, so sometimes I feel how I execute some of my sewing projects. So if you want to see some of them, you want to click on the subscribe button, hit on the notification bell, and drop a comment. Have you read Moment of Fitness by Kingsbury? What are the lessons you learned from it? What are the things that you feel that the characters could have done better? And is there any other book you'd like to recommend for me to review? Please, Christian novels, biographies, historical books, spiritual books. Those are the types of books that I read. So if there's any of them that you'd like me to review, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be sure to read and come up to review. Till I come up again for another edition of book review on Unisport, I like you to stay blessed. Know indeed that God have a plan for your life to give you a future and a hope. Bye.